Ladies and gentlemen, over the past few weeks, a series of unfortunate events surrounding the ruling party, the United Democratic Alliance, happened and culminated into a purported removal of my person as the Secretary General of the ruling party, a position I have held and diligently rendered my services. While my claimed removal was controversial, unfair, tantamount to an internal coup within the party, and naturally required my immediate reaction and resistance, I instead, after reflection and consultation, chose to retreat and have a moment of deep introspection before I would come back with a more thought-out position that is sober and devoid of emotion, bitterness, and vendetta. It is for that reason that I called for a media briefing at this time for the purpose of setting the record straight, especially regarding my supposed removal as Secretary General of the UDA and my next course of action following the aforementioned events. This is also in acknowledgement that my continued silence over such grave occurrences continues to cause unnecessary confusion and anxiety among my supporters and the UDA party members, while it could also be wrongfully construed as an admission of guilt. In this regard, ladies and gentlemen, I wish to state as follows. 1, that as highlighted above, my alleged removal as UDA Secretary General was outright unlawful, unfair, and a sheer blatant contravention of the party constitution and laid down processes. Sadly, this coup was plotted and executed by senior party officials who are otherwise expected to protect and uphold the same constitution. Neither were any charges preferred against me in public or private to warrant and justify my removal, nor was I given an opportunity to defend myself as required by law and the rules of natural justice. I was convicted and sentenced without trial because my aggressors had nothing against me, to the extent that none of them could sign and date the statement that purportedly communicated my ouster. That this coup was plotted and orchestrated by 2 senior party officials alongside others within the party secretariat. These senior officials are Mrs. Cecil Mbarire and Mr. Kimani Ichung'Wah, MP for Kikuyu constituency. That my ouster by the above officials had nothing to do with incompetence or my inability to run the UDA party, but was a well-choreographed script intended to climax with the impeachment of the Deputy President regarding Gachagua. My close and inevitable working relationship with the Deputy President, who is also the UDA Deputy Party Leader, act them. And when their concerted effort, lobbying and coercion to set me against my Deputy Party Leader failed, I was effectively profiled and labeled as an obstacle towards their evil plot and conspiracy to have His Excellency Rigathi Gachagua impeached. It is not a coincidence, therefore, that one of the coup plotters' accomplices, Mr. Hassan Omar, was unlawfully proposed as my immediate replacement. Let it be known that the planned impeachment of the Deputy President had nothing to do with President William Ruto, the broad-based government, or any other narrative the coup plotters have advanced. The impeachment had everything to do with egocentric 2027-2032 politics from the Mount Kenya region and was instigated and propelled by Mrs. Cecil Mbarire and Mr. Kimani Ichung'Wah. These two want our deputy president out so that they can strategically position themselves within the emerging political realignments. This backward politics must be called out because if left to fester, it threatens the stability, popularity, and the very existence of the UDA party, which the party leader, His Excellency William Ruto, his deputy Rigathi Gachagua, and myself have worked tirelessly to build. That this, I want you to hear, that this is just one of the 18 evidence-backed accusations I have against Mrs. Cecil Mbarire and Mr. Kimani Ichung'Wah. The two are aware of this, are afraid, and it is the reason they had to hurriedly, illegally, and unceremoniously purport to have me removed from office. Ladies and gentlemen, I will be disclosing the other 17 issues against them in due course, including and not limited to documentary evidence of efforts by the two with their accomplices to defraud the party, as well as manufacturing minutes of non-existent party meetings and forging the signatures of the deputy president and myself in attempts to access the party's bank accounts. My next disclosure will also reveal attempts by the two coup plotters and their accomplices to intentionally and consistently run down and kill the UDA party through stalling of key party activities meant to popularize and expand UDA. In light of the above, and in appreciation and respect of established internal party organs responsible with handling such matters, I have forwarded a petition contesting my purported removal as Secretary General to the party's internal disputes resolution committee for adjudication and justice, and I confirm my availability for hearing and presentation of my case as and when required. This is also because some of the issues raised in my petition are very, very, very sensitive, with potential to harm the image of the UDA party if exposed to the public through an open court. But I will not hesitate to take the next move if I don't get justice from the party's internal dispute and resolution committee. For the purpose of clarity, the matter before the political parties dispute tribunal, which I filed immediately after my supposed ouster, is for the sake of obtaining orders to stop the process of my replacement by the UDA party and the registrar of political parties until my substantive issues are fully heard and determined by the internal party organ responsible for disputes, that is IDRC. While I am pursuing this process, and to ensure non-interference with the proceedings, I am demanding, therefore, that Mrs. Cecil Mbarire and Mr. Kimani Ichung'Wah step aside as UDA party officials because their actions and intentions clearly portray them as having ill motive against the UDA party they purportedly serve and might interfere with this matter. I make the assurance that by the time I am done presenting all the remaining 17 issues before the IDRC, Mrs. Cecil Mbarire and Mr. Ichung'Wah and their accomplices, who shall be known soon, will have no moral or political standing to hold any position, whether at the party or in public service. I have also written to the registrar of political parties, who already instigated the process of my replacement, and asked her to hold the replacement process pending the hearing and determination of my petition. This matter also attracted the attention of the UDA members who are here with me today, who I am informed also have written to the same registrar contesting my replacement. Thus, there are grounds for the registrar to stop the same under the Political Parties Act until this matter is dispensed within. The registrar of political parties also directed the UDA party to hold elections within 180 days, and for the avoidance of doubt. Therefore, I am announcing today that I will be seeking to retain the position of the Secretary General of UDA party when party elections are held, to get a direct mandate from party members so that a few early risers with ill motive will never again contemplate meeting secretly at 5 a.m. under heavy security to demean a ruling party by illegally removing a serving and deserving Secretary General. I will also be rallying party members to amend the party constitution and ensure no leader in elective position is allowed to serve as a party official, except the party leader and his deputy. This will cushion the party from being misused as a tool to settle selfish, personal, and regional political scores, as is happening currently. While at this, I wish to offer my voluntary advice to my good friend, the truthful man, the Deputy President and the Deputy Party Leader of UDA, His Excellency Gachagua'S, that he should not be deceived into letting down his guard regarding the issue of his impeachment. I am putting it to him that the coup plotters are not yet done. Free advice. If he wants to go and sleep, let him go and sleep. But the coup plotters are just on sleep mode. They are yet to be activated. As I conclude, may I state that my interest in all this is purely the pursuit of justice, and to clear my name from possible speculations regarding my legal removal. I have served diligently and obediently as Secretary General for the UDA party since I assumed office, popularized the party across the country, and grew the party by more than 3 million new members. I cannot, therefore, exit because of an illegal decision made by a handful of malicious party officials who are scared of my achievements at the party. I assure the 3 million plus members who I convinced to join the UDA party that I will not abandon them. Where they will be is where I will be. Penye wataenda, ndio mimi nitaenda. Siwezi fukuzwa peke yangu. Finally, let there be no doubt that until the issue, or rather the issues I have elucidated above, are adjudicated upon and settled fairly, amicably, and conclusively by the relevant organs, I remain the lawful Secretary General of the UDA party. God bless UDA. God bless you. Self-explanatory. I think there is no question. Do you have any question? Good. Thank you.
Even me, I am their friends.
Ex-Uda.